I'm going to review the New York Philharmonic Kidzone website. Kidzone is an interactive music website that introduces students to the orchestra as well as other musical aspects, including different instruments, composers, performers, and composition. It has an easy-to-use layout and presents the information in a fun and educational way. The website is free to use, but there are a number of programs you'll need to install on your computer in order to hear and see all of the different settings. You'll need QuickTime, Shockwave, Real Player, and Flash in order to view all of the different parts of the website. If you go to the sitemap at the bottom of the page and you click on Help, you can click on this center screen here. It says Need Help Seeing and Hearing All the Great Stuff in the Kidzone. You click on that and then this gives you a description of how to make the different programs work on your computer, how to download the software itself. The website is laid out in a simple format that allows students to easily navigate. The homepage itself is the game room, and the left side of the screen has the different tabs, and as you scroll over them you can see more about what you're clicking on. And then the middle of the screen is where you actually do the work. We're going to start on the home screen here, which again is the Games tab. Since the website is based on the New York Philharmonic, one of their games is actually a virtual tour of Avery Fisher Hall at the Lincoln Center, and I'm going to navigate my way through this briefly to show you what it can do. So the Music Quest, a backstage adventure. I'm going to start. I've already put my name in and go into story mode, and it takes you through the backstage pass here. Click on the security guard. I'm going to go through this quickly just to give you an idea. So then they have the different floors. So you can click on whichever floor you want to try. Maybe we want to go to this stage, to the second floor. And then it just shows you what backstage it might look like. The next tab I want to show you is the instrument storage room, where you learn about the different instruments. And once you click on that, you can follow the character. He goes into each different room, and in each room there's a different instrument family. When you select the instrument itself, it gives you a description of the instrument. It allows you to hear the instrument. And then I found a little glitch in the website. These binoculars are what I believe would allow you to see the instrument, but on each of the instruments, when you click on it, you get a blank screen. So that's one part that might be a little outdated in this website. This Friend tab here gives you different instruments that are related to the instrument that you've selected. And again, you can hear the different instruments. And again, the binoculars, that link doesn't quite work. Next tab down is the dressing room, where you meet the conductors and soloists. They have two different ways you can go. Looks like I've already selected conductors. And then as you click on the conductor, gives you a picture there of the conductor. This is a famous conductor, Leonard Bernstein. Click on that, gives you a brief description of him. And then the different stands give you a little more information about him. You can exit. And on the other side, it had the different soloists. These are soloists that have performed at the New York Philharmonic. And again, when they show you the instruments, it's the exact same thing as the instrument storage room. Shows you the same description, same sounds, etc. Next tab down is the instrument lab. The instrument lab is an interesting tab that is a fun tool for teachers to use. It gives a number of different instruments plus a description of the instrument and an audio sample. Then there's a step-by-step directions for making a homemade version of that instrument. So if I come over here, I can click on the instrument. I get a description of the instrument. If I click here, what is it? A man comes on and actually describes the instrument.
This is the tubanche, which is a 2-foot-long cardboard tube with 3...
I can hear how it sounds. And then as I scroll down, I can make a homemade version of that. So this might be something a teacher might want to print out and create into the lesson plan itself, and then you can create a whole band of these different instruments. The Musicians Lounge gives you an introduction to some of the performers in the New York Philharmonic. The thought bubbles are set up in an interview format here, asking an instrument, hometown, etc. Then you can click on the tab. It shows you the instrument that that musician plays, and just like in the other tabs, you can click and actually hear the instruments play. Next one down, composition workshop. It's another interactive part of the website where you can make different sounds based on what you see. It would be geared more toward younger students. It's not really a notation software program. For instance, the musical mingles. It just gives you a different variety of sounds and different ways to make those sounds so that you can combine them, and you are creating music, but it's pretty visual as opposed to actually notating music on the staff. Choose your style. And then they drop the sounds down, and you can move things around to create different sounds, etc. The Composers Gallery is where you can learn about famous composers. They just have them sorted by where they're from, their birthdays, their styles, their names. And then you can read a little bit more about these different composers. And these are famous composers. They give you an idea. They tell you where they're from, where their time period, etc. And finally, the newsstand here at the bottom gives you the different time periods and different information about them, and also gives you an idea of what was going on during that time period. So news of the era. And then at the bottom, again, because it is based on the New York Philharmonic, you can learn more about the New York Philharmonic, on tour, new music director, etc. So it's an interesting website. It's one that I've used very briefly in the past, but one that we've been encouraged to use when we have different professional development that are related to music. So I always had it in the back of my mind to take a look at it and thought this would be a great way to really get into the program. A few of the links were a little outdated, and there's a lot of things to download, a lot of software to download to make the programs work. But I find it to be a valuable tool to use in the music classroom, especially for younger students.